Hey guys, sorry we had some technical difficulties, but like I said earlier, pull out your finest china and your best bottle of wine. We're doing perfect pairings tonight on AfterBuzz TV's Project Runway All-Stars After Show, starting now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We're here.
We are all here today.
Yeah, third episode tonight of Project Runway, entitled Perfect Pairings. What did you guys think? Did it make you hungry looking at all that food? I mean, it didn't look that good to me. But,
it didn't look like a lot of food either.
No, that's true.
One of those places. Hey, you guys, I am your host, Michael Shirley, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. We've been talking about if I should keep my Instagram or not. Maybe you guys can...
I think you should.
You think I should?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have to I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
We'll decide later.
I'm losing interest.
Okay.
But next to me we've got Hannah B. Tucker. Tell them where they can find you online.
Yes, you can find me at Hannah B.E. Tucker.
Hey guys, Michelle Uberas. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberas.
Hey guys, and I'm Maite Creo. You can find me everywhere at Maite Creo _. And as always, we have our live chat going on. So if you guys have questions or want to, input your thoughts, log in, let us know.
You're a little giggle box down there, Mike.
I know. I don't know why I have the giggles. I've had not a great day today, but just being here, right?
I'm liking that. I'm liking that fuzzy sweater you got going on.
Oh, this I don't even know what to call it. It's like
a shag. For sure, like a shag confetti.
Carpet. Yeah.
Yeah, I liking it.
Makes me feel some type of way. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew we were supposed to have a special guest on tonight, but if you're tuning in for that, we just wanted to tell you guys we're not having Amy in the studio, but we will be having her, Amy from season 16, coming up on an after show very soon because we know you guys love her and she's a blast to have on the panel. Let's just get right into it. Tonight, the designers were paired up and they had to design complementary, elegant looks inspired by the dish or wine from their dinner pairing, and they were put into pairs, and the worst pair of designers would be eliminated in a double elimination, which I think is kind of a good call on their point.
Yeah.
I think we need to thin out the herd a little bit. I'm not really like things aren't jumping out at us like they were last season. I think we got spoiled with all those personalities and characters. They were so different on Project Runway season 16, and Maite's staring right through me right now.
I agree. We're actually agreeing on something this episode.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll agree on some outfits tonight. I think there's a few we will. So the designers got to dine at Danielle's in New York, and they were each brought out a different plate for each of them. So they all didn't have the same food. So everyone's take would be a little different, and either one designer would take the wine and the other one would take the plate. What do you think you would pick, Maite, if you were sitting at the table? Do you think you would have picked the food, or do you think you would have picked the wine?
I would have picked the wine, the rosé.
The rosé.
Yeah.
We're all about the rosé.
I was calling that out since I saw it. I was like, ooh, that rosé. Maybe we should have. Well, next time we'll bring some wine or something.
You're a rosé girl?
I am a rosé girl.
I feel like they have a lot of shirts out now that says something something rosé.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm
rosé
talking
all
about?
day.
Yeah. What about you, Michelle? Would you have taken the plate or the wine?
Probably the food, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't impressed by anything, any of it.
What about you, Hannah?
I think the wine, probably the Syrah. Sounded
I feel
very
like with the
crisp.
wine, no matter what, you can just cut to the glass,
Yeah,
and
you
the
can.
shape
I
of
feel
it.
I guess.
I think it's kind of safer.
The wine just speaks to me, It's just.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
What's it say? What does it say?
It's just inevitable. It's just
I would have definitely picked the wine too.
Yeah.
The food was it was strange looking.
Yeah. There was so much green going on, and I kept thinking in my head, they had the pesto or whatever on top of every dish, and I was I don't know how I would translate that to be.
Well, they didn't. They just decided not to.
That was a challenge. That was a big challenge, but that just to me wasn't pretty. So.
Yeah, we saw a few things tonight that weren't very pretty. Number one, Fabio's crew neck, that little shirt he was wearing, that
with the
little
lace collar.
Wednesday Addams look going on.
Yes.
I was cringing at that doily.
It was
I could not.
bothersome.
Bothersome.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a great word used by Georgina tonight
Yeah.
bothersome. That was one way to put it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlene says wine is inspirational, Hannah.
Yes.
And then Olga said, I would have picked the wine because you can do whatever you want with it as long as you make a good story.
Yeah.
The food is a bit more definite and limiting.
True.
For sure,
Right?
for
True,
sure,
true.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they focused a lot tonight on Merlene and Candice's look. Like, I feel like pretty much the whole show was just
Because
like
they were terrible.
going through their.
Yeah.
Well, was it a surprise to you that they were not eliminated, Michelle?
A little bit. Yeah.
I
I really thought,
Yeah.
and not even just based on like the setup, but based on the looks. They were really bad.
I think the only thing that really saved them was the fact that Merlene had won a competition before.
I think so too.
And
No, I think it was because they were a little more creative with it. Like the team that did get eliminated, it was just straight boring and horrible. Like at least Merlene and Candice were like trying to do something and like attempting to do something original.
yeah.
So
yeah.
in my opinion, that's what saved them from.
I was
certain death.
definitely not a fan of the losers tonight.
Melissa and
I
Ari.
didn't hate their looks. I'm not gonna lie.
You
I didn't hate it.
them?
I actually think I disagree with
Okay,
everyone.
all
Yeah,
right.
today.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't
Well-
base it off on what I've like saw tonight, but I feel like Ari had some good looks the past 2 episodes. Like it's kind of doable. Like she could have pulled something off. But Melissa, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
And people liked Ari a lot more than I did. Like just generally this
Yeah.
season, and it seems like a lot of the designers were scared of her, and I like kind of
Yeah, I
didn't
thought she was like
get
tough
why.
competition.
She didn't frighten me. Well, let's just start off with our first look that we have from Edmund and Helen, which I think is really. I can't believe we're starting it off this way.
oh no.
But do I say it or do you?
Edmund
I'm not-
said it.
I'm
I mean,
not
do I
saying-
say it or do you say it?
I could say it.
Yeah,
Edmund, I'll tell
how
you what
did Edmund
Edmund.
describe?
He said it's like a,
How is Edmund's outfit described by? Oh gosh, we're still doing these names.
it Anthony?
Anthony.
Okay. Okay.
he said it looks like a tampon and blood coming together.
Not a good. No.
Yeah.
Not a
That's
compliment.
never a good description.
But it's really funny.
it was really funny. We all were like,
My mouth dropped. Basically.
yeah, for sure. That was very extreme.
all
And I'm
about the pairings.
I was a
Yeah.
little surprised that Lifetime
Let
Allowed
them-
that to-
yeah.
Oh, they're down and dirty. I
He's
believe
just
it.
so funny.
It definitely, I get where he was coming from. I mean, I don't really think about those kind of things, but I think I
mean,
was forced to
Yeah.
having to like look at this and hear that.
Yeah, the red one, that was supposed to be the pea soup,
Yeah.
right?
Which I obviously don't see that at all. There's no. I mean, this looks like wine, right?
Yeah.
This looks
You
like,
can't tell which one's the wine and which was what if no one had told you. On the other hand, Helen's look was my very favorite of the night. I
Really?
absolutely loved it. She looked like a little fairy. It was so delicate and feminine, and when it bounced, it was flattering. It was well sewn. I don't know. I feel like you could wear this like to bed if you lived in a castle, or like to like a really really fancy event and look just wonderful. It's like a Gwyneth Paltrow kind of dress.
Oh, yeah. This is like
Maybe.
the angel and the devil.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
didn't think about that.
Yeah, this is
It
right now that
does.
you were talking about that. I'm like, that's what it
Yin
looks
and
like.
yang, good
Yeah.
and bad.
Which means
and
they're
bad.
not complimentary at all.
For me, I gave the first outfit this red. For all of you listening on the podcast, podcast. Oh my gosh, this is just sticking with us. This is like as Candice would say, a very flouncy dress, a flouncy red dress, and Helen's was just like layered, sheer. Gosh, what is
Tulle,
it,
I
like-
think.
Yeah,
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 it's Tulle.
definitely. I gave Helen's look 5 stars. I gave Edmund's 1 star. So this was a 6-star team for me, and I had the highest I gave a team was 6. It was really hard for me in the end to pick my favorite because like I loved this dress so much, but I hate this dress so much.
Right.
It was tough. So in the end, I agreed with the judges because the looks that did win. They did look like they went together. I might not have ever recommended anyone to buy them. Well, one of them, but what do you guys think about these two looks?
I wasn't a fan of either one.
Really?
To be honest. Yeah, no.
I'm surprised you didn't like Helen's.
No, because the way it fit the model's figure was very unflattering to me. Like the dress really flowed nicely when the model walked down the runway, but there's just something about it that didn't like do it for me. It just
I feel like that's the kind of dress a woman who's like super thin, not really busty, you know, the kind of woman that just wants to like more like make an impression than show off her body.
It's more artsy than
Mm-hmm.
wearable maybe.
What were your thoughts on this, Michelle?
I gave Edmund a 1 and Helen a 4. Like, the only thing is just, I think that it's a great dress, Helen's, but it's, like, not bold. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't speak to me. It was well done. It was well made. It looks like fashion, but there's just something about it that's just kind of bores me to death.
What would have turned it into a 5 for you? Just
I don't
off
know.
the hand.
I think the color, it's, like, pretty and I get it, but it kind of also just washes out the model and it's just nothing stands out to me. I don't know what I would specifically say to do to it to change it, but it's just a pretty dress, you know. And then Edmund's was just horrific, but I gave him a 1 because I think that he did try to do something with it. It just didn't work out.
No.
I
But
like
he
how
was
you're like, well, I
trying-
gave him a 1.
He was trying to do some like a technique and make it artistic. It didn't work at all,
It
and
was
he should have
tacky.
noticed that
Super tacky.
when he started. But it's just not good at all.
What about you, Maite?
I mean, I don't mind either one. I do like Helen's. I think hers.
You don't
came
mind
out.
Edmonds? It doesn't
I don't
offend
mind.
you?
No, it doesn't offend me. It's kind of just like it's.
Oh, Michelle's like, don't even
It's
look at
just-
you. Sipping her tea.
I mean, I'm not saying I'd give it a 5 stars, but
What did you give it?
I gave him a 1. No, I gave him a 2.
2.
And then I gave Helen a 4. Just because the structure is different for Edmonds, and I mean, I can appreciate some creativity that he put.
It
towards
looks like
the
it's
middle.
fallen off her to me.
But they're not a pair at all.
No,
Like they
like
don't
we said, they
complement
were
each other.
opposites.
Yeah.
They both look
See-
like wines, we thought.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's
but-
true.
Yeah, but this wasn't supposed to be a wine.
Yeah, that means
I
that they
know.
didn't.
Yeah.
they didn't
So
meet
now
the
I'm like
mark.
rethinking the whole situation. Now that we're like,
Which
Did you
wine
say it was
pairs best
pea
with
soup?
another wine?
yeah, it's
Pea
supposed to be
soup.
pea soup, but now it's
What?
not.
I'm
Yeah,
so
that's weird.
confused.
But I could see Lily Collins actually wearing Helen's dress.
I
Oh,
can
I
too.
can see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Okay.
Well, moving on to our next
Michelle's
outfit.
giving me the side eye.
Yeah, she's like,
I
she's
just
irked.
don't
Like, really?
Now you know what I felt like last week. Jeez. Next up, we have Joshua and Amanda. Unfortunately, just because they're so dark, you can't really see much. you
But there
know,
wasn't that
with
much to
this.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Well, I thought that Joshua's was interesting. That's what I thought. It was interesting, and I thought that it was sewn well.
Interesting in what way?
Yeah, like good or bad interesting.
It was like mixed genres to me. It kind of felt like, at first it looked like there was a crescent moon, and then it seemed kind of like there was like some Asian thing going on, and then I like how the thing in the, maybe I don't. I gave it a 3. It's okay. I don't know. I thought Josh
Wow.
was okay. I thought it was thoughtful. It was different. I hadn't really seen anything like it recently. It kind of looked like a funeral dress, I guess, but like a sexy funeral dress.
Wow. Okay.
A sexy funeral
Like
dress.
a hooker goes to a funeral.
No.
All right, what do you think?
I wasn't too happy with either of these. I feel like Josh's has like there's like flags on the boobs, and I was a little confused on
I
that.
didn't see that.
I don't know. It was like the way it's stuck out.
I only
Did you
saw
see
it
that?
after she turned around. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But Amanda's, the hemming on it was just like it was bunched, and then it kind of was rolling in the front a little bit. It wasn't executed
Amanda's
very
was
well.
horrible. I gave that 1 star. It just looked like something that was like boring off the rack, like not interesting.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, and
Too
those
safe.
shoes too. The heels paired
yeah,
up with
those
that that bottom portion is so awkward. The length is so awkward for me. I don't know what it is, and it looks very unfinished.
Yes, Amanda's has this like curved hem at the bottom that's just not. I don't know why she chose to put that on there. Yeah. What about you, Michelle? You hate this look.
I gave Josh a 0.
Why? Why?
This looks like this like cheap hookery. You know when you go on Instagram and you have like these really cheap, like way too sexy
models.
brands,
Yeah.
like trying to market
Protein powder girls.
market you to death.
Fashion Nova?
Yes. That's who I was thinking of. But there's more that, like, I see it all the time, and I'm just like, this is not fashion or tasteful at all to me. Like, yeah, it was sewn well, I guess. But other than that, there was nothing to it. It was like all these random elements, like, hey, I just top stitched like these flowers on here, and then I put like a leather thing on here, and then I added like these, I don't know, little shark fins or something. Shark fins. It was like, I don't understand it at all.
I'm not
super cheap looking.
I'm not like rooting for it. I don't know. It's just. Did it not look sewn well at least?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean,
Sure.
It's hard for me to get past those eyebrows. So I was like, all right, you're all right with this.
Oh my god, those eyebrows.
you were distracted.
They need to give them
took me
more
off of it.
airtime.
I know. They
I want to see
I don't
them
know.
more.
They are
I don't
good
know.
eyebrows.
I do.
I don't.
I mean, that horrible. That's
What did
why.
you give this look, my day?
I gave Joshua a 2, and I gave Amanda a 1. I do like the fact that he took a risk and he was like, it's gonna be a little bit sexy. It was a little too sexy for me.
It is kind of like Heidi Fleiss, like call girl, like high price.
Yeah,
call
yeah,
girl.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle's like, it's not high price. It's a cheap call girl.
I
It
just
does look
hated
very
that
cheap,
one
too.
So much.
But I just didn't like Amanda's. I gave her a 1, and I've
No,
already
it's
seen
boring.
this look as well.
Yeah, Amanda's was
past.
weird. It's like not even like her. I'm like, who even made this? You know?
Yeah.
I want to like anything that's got like leather. You know,
Me
it kind of
too.
like
I
turns
do like
into
leather,
something
yeah.
else. But it was just
Can barely
like
even
It was
see it though.
boring.
she could have had a lot more fun with this.
Yeah.
Like a lot more fun. It
I
didn't
just
look like
don't-
she had any fun.
I don't see how they get black out of like wine and food. Like food is exciting, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone loves
This outfit's,
food. so
I mean,
it's
both
like-
of these outfits are pretty hard to describe.
They probably didn't
You're
like
just
the food.
they didn't like the food.
They didn't like
wanted
the
to throw it
food.
away.
They didn't like the wine, and this was them
Trash bag
protesting.
color.
Yeah.
It's always a mistake, almost always, to do like an all black on the runway unless you have enough texture or, you know, shape or something extravagant going on. Like, you just lose all the detail and all the work that
Well,
you
as we
put into
saw,
it.
doing black and white together works well because it shows you kind of like
Right.
opposites,
Yeah.
which worked out for another team's favor.
Yeah. You know what we're getting so much on our live chat is the fact that these models are not like season 16 where they were just all different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Olga saying if they aren't going to have different size models, they should have the same models with the same designers throughout the season.
Yeah.
And then Charlene says the styles this
don't know.
season are for only model type bodies,
I agree.
which is true.
yeah.
We definitely saw that in Anthony's look tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if I agree about that first part. I think that if you're gonna win Project Runway All Stars, you need to be able to fit anybody. I mean, regardless that they're all like skinny, you need to be able to do all their different sizes without like being like, I don't know what to do.
But the thing is, they don't really. What we had a problem on our season, they don't really give you accurate measurements, and you don't get to measure the model yourself until like you have to almost be done. So
Wow.
I didn't ever think that was fair because you get switched models, and you can get made or break, you know, make or break your look just because like, oh, you did a jumpsuit and it doesn't go on your model at all, and now you have to like throw everything away or it looks terrible because of that. And I don't think that's fair. Like, I think if they could have the opportunity to measure the models maybe before, you know, they actually start the challenge or something, I'd be down with that. But I think it's too unpredictable to, like, actually be fair to the designers, personally.
Well, like, I mean, Candice was talking about the fact, like, and Ari were talking about the fact that, like, if you're doing pants, you're kind of screwed because you can't take in I mean, once it's a certain size, you can't make it any bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that being a designer on Project Runway, you're kind of like deterred from doing pants because of that?
I think somewhat, and I just think it's harder to fit pants, especially if you do, like, they always use these fabrics that don't stretch or anything. But I also think it's like, if you're smart, just keep a little extra fabric, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we would do. We'd like, okay, here's what they told us, you know, how she is. The fabric does, and even if you have her correct measurements, like, you just don't know till you put a garment on sometimes. So
I mean,
it's like,
she might have had a cheeseburger.
just leave extra. Yeah, I mean, just leave extra
Melissa.
so you can fit it on her before you close it up. It's not that hard on most styles, so.
Yeah, Melissa said she had that problem with her sleeves, though. She said that she wanted to add something, and then, like, when the judges were talking about it, she kind of showed how she actually wanted it, and she's like, if I
Yeah.
just had a little extra fabric, they were like, oh, that's so much better. She probably...
But she
might
wasted
have
all
been
her
saved.
time and then threw away and made a dress at the very last minute. So that was kind of
True.
also on
That's
her.
true.
Well, let's,
yeah.
let's go ahead and jump into that pairing with Melissa and Ari we've got up. Melissa's dress, I wrote down sad Kathy Hilton.
Oh,
Super sad.
just looks dated.
It's not particularly flattering either for someone. I mean,
I feel like I can see someone in this, but I don't know who. Just,
someone with big hips.
yeah, I don't know. But it is a little bit,
What, Mike?
Dated.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has that much space.
Little waist, big hips.
And I actually do think this pair was more complimentary than what the judges gave credit for. I
What?
don't know
Really?
if you
I think
guys
this
don't
is
think so.
hilarious. This is like
It's
baby
getting
doll
started, you
girl
guys.
and then super sexy like Miami housewife.
like-
yeah,
it's
it's
the
like
way-
the mom and the daughter.
It's the way the texture shines.
Okay, I
It's
can
a
see
Like
that.
the texture
Daughter, for
shines, and then
sure.
the colors are still on point. So I mean, I see the contrast in the style, the style of dresses, but there's still something that's cohesive there. So I do have to give them that, though.
Had this been a mother-daughter
Challenge,
they
they
very
would've won.
well might
Yeah.
have won. That Melissa's outfit, I had to give that 1 star. It's just unfashionable. Maybe it'd look okay in a different fabric I guess maybe on a shorter woman, but I don't think it's very flattering for a tall woman.
She wanted to do a pantsuit out of this, right? That was her first. I feel like her first.
Everyone
sketch.
wants to do a pantsuit on this show.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better
Yeah.
though than having this dress. She should have just stuck to her guns and gone with her first design, as opposed to doing something like this that was very off. I can't think of someone who would wear this.
I can't really either. The fabric kind of looks like silk wallpaper that you would see in like an old castle, like Versailles
Very
or
like
something.
grandma drapes.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mind the fabric.
I don't, but it's a weird use of the fabric. Like this.
Gives me like cheap grandma, like Chanel,
Yeah,
like
dated.
smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes, like lipstick all over your teeth kind of vibe.
God.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
peppermints, butterscotch,
I think it's just the proportions.
mothballs.
Yeah. I think it's
But-
just the proportions though. Like if you saw this skirt and it was more fluffy and shorter, and like the sleeves were
Yes.
shorter, it would
Now
be
you're
cute.
now you're going somewhere.
I
Maybe
would
if it was
totally
solid
wear
white or a solid color, I might feel different. Maybe like a solid green, a solid white, solid black.
I
but
kind of like. I think she should have gone more kitschy with use the fabric and do something weird and unexpected with
Yes.
it. This just looks like grandma fabric on a grandma dress.
There you go.
And she should have
Contrast.
fixed that sleeve. Like when she was saying, talking about this dress, and how she could have fixed it. Like that would have looked
she could
so
have just
much
gotten a
better.
safety pin. And
Honestly,
done that,
Yeah,
it
like,
would have
that.
in a
taken like
second.
5 seconds.
that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
She was
and-
acting like she didn't have time. Like,
Yeah.
But can we trash Ari's dress now?
yeah.
yes,
Please.
the walking vagina
Oh.
is how I
gosh.
best describe this dress. It is
It's just too much.
vulgar. You said
is
where
vulgar.
blood
I know, I
meets a
know, I know.
tampon, so
Oh,
I can say
gosh.
walking vagina.
JJ.
This is, I mean, Isaac Mizrahi really hated her belly button showing.
Yeah.
And so did Georgina Chapman. But it was what I thought was funny is that she had like a belly button piercing, and I thought that it went like so with that, like in the worst way possible.
The best part about this whole show was hearing Georgina say slutty.
Oh my gosh. Never.
I
Yeah.
was like, whoa.
I think vulgar is just like a very
is
good
really
word
vulgar.
for this. Like,
Not only like the shape,
What?
but like the pearls and the placement and the mesh.
How would you describe this to our podcast listeners?
I guess it's kind of like an ivory long
Oyster.
gown, but there's just like cutouts in the front and the back, very
Straight through.
right, with just nude mesh, and then she's kind of got these pearls on top of, very strategic, but not even covering all the lady bits. You know?
If she had
Yeah.
like clams or
I mean, it's like, and then the back too. It's like just an emulation of a butt crack.
Yeah,
right?
it pretty much frames the butt crack.
It's like a slice out of her butt.
I will say though, didn't JLo wear a dress that showed her belly button like that? That kind of framed it.
yeah, but she didn't
that
have a
was-
big hole above her belly button
Yeah,
too.
and then the fabric was totally different. Like
It was different.
Yeah, it was more
still
low
mesh,
cut.
I think
yeah.
it might have been okay if she had like a pearl belly button ring in. I can't get like past her
Mixing
belly
and
button on
matching.
this.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I think if she had clams for dinner or something like that would have been
Made more sense
appropriate.
at least, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely did not see that as wine. But it looked like it had, it took a long time to make this. Doesn't make it good, but lots of detail work in this.
A lot.
just want to see the detail in the right places.
Yeah.
I feel like the front should have been just all one solid color and should have been covered, and then the back she could have done something really interesting with it, or just kind of kept the idea going
I don't
for the
know.
back.
Like
I
on the
would've
shoulder,
done.
like she should have done like the pearls on the shoulders or along the bust, above the
yeah.
bust line, or something
Yeah,
like
strong
more
shoulder.
tasteful. This is just, it's just like
Slutty.
vulgar is the only. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I keep coming back to. I don't even know what it's obscene.
I could definitely see it on like a Real Housewife.
Yes.
Of, like Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone being like,
Yeah.
look at her dress.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I gave that 2 stars just because of the sheer amount of detailing that went into the actual look.
I gave it 1 for the work too. Yeah.
And we all found out that these 2 went home,
Yeah.
They did.
not having it. No.
I feel kind of bad for Melissa because I feel like she has more than this.
They
I feel
both
like she's
do.
better than
I always
this.
want to root for an LA girl, but
They
I
both
don't
do.
know.
I feel like it was just too soon for both of them to go home.
Maybe. We'll get to who might should have taken their place in a minute. But next we have got Ken and Fabio's look. And this is the pair that won the competition tonight and got a 5-course meal at Danielle's as their prize. I wonder if it was romantic.
Oh, maybe.
I thought that Ken's dress was, I wrote pretty okay.
Okay.
It was a little different. I didn't love the back when they had them turn around for like the examination or whatever.
Yeah.
The way I imagined the back to look in my brain looked a little better, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting overall. But Fabio's look, I wrote down, that mall store that used to be around the Limited. That's what that reminds me of. Really like, ugh. I don't like the high-low thing. I don't like the jumpsuit thing. Looks like it's well made, and the 2 do look like they go together.
Yeah.
But I don't think it says fashionable.
I think that they would have looked so much better together if he would have taken the skirt on that jumper and made it more structural, like
Avant-garde,
Ken's
maybe.
is. Yeah, and I think that would have made it look so much better. I like that Ken kind of was a little bit on the risk-taking side, but I personally just do not think they should have won. I'm kind of disappointed,
Yeah,
actually.
I
agree.
I don't like that they won at all, but
Well, their outfits look like kind of like bride and groom or whatever. They look
yeah.
like they go
Yeah.
together, and I think they really used that color to their advantage to win this, and the fact that everything is made well. Whereas we saw lots of construction issues with some of the looks tonight. You were looking at me kind of funny, Michelle, when I said that I didn't see Fabio's look to be fashion. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do
outfit?
think it is, but I think it is a little bridesmaidy the way the skirt is, but I do think it's fashionable. I
For
kind of
what age?
Yeah,
Zuri's
that's
really
true.
old to me.
not
She's like
really
50.
old. No, not that
No.
old. I
Looks
think
like
like
5.
30s, 40s. Yeah.
I mean, you could, but
Like
why
for-
would you?
for-
I mean,
I think for like a woman that's just not like in her 20s anymore. but
okay,
she's
yeah,
not
for
50,
sure, not
yeah.
in her 20s.
But I agree also with Hannah. Like, I like the way it's so kind of sleek, but the skirt, it's so easy just to make a gathered skirt. Like, maybe if there was just some type of element in there that was a little more structural. But I think that they both kind of had this really sleek look. I don't love the hip thing. I've seen it before. I think it was interesting to kind of have the underpinnings of the structure in it, but I think it's kind of a technique that Project Runway designers always like, well, what should I do if I want to make it extra special? Put this little thing on
Like
my
a
hip.
strong, like Olsen kind of vibe to it.
Right. So, but I think it's really clean and they worked well together. So I think it was one of the more successful pairings. for
Yeah, you
sure.
didn't see them complaining and
And I
acting
think
up.
it's sophisticated. Like it's
Yeah.
not so cheap and cheesy and tacky like most of the other stuff.
The
on
lace
runway.
on that, I think maybe if the lace was just fully black and
Oh, yeah.
lighter, it's too heavy for me.
Yeah, lighter for sure. I almost want to say, okay, he almost didn't put on that skirt, and I kind of wish he didn't, but then I
Then
kind
what
of
would
was,
you have?
yeah,
Right.
but then I was kind of like, well, I like the train idea. I really like that it makes a statement. So what if he just lightened it up, maybe made it black, and then there's like, you know, a sheer overlay, and
I
it's
think
lighter.
the
and it's
graying
prettier.
to it kind of aged it to me.
It did
But I
age
like
it a
that.
lot.
I think otherwise it wouldn't pair as well because it kind of picks up
It does pick up the color.
the
of other
color
dress
and
a
it
little
makes
bit.
them more of a team.
Cohesive.
yeah, that's true. So
I
we
don't
needed
like
that.
this. I think it's Ken's. The bottom. No, Fabio. The top part, that black. It's just not
That
my.
V-neck.
Yeah,
you don't
the
think
Oh
that's
yeah,
hip?
it's really bland.
Yeah, it's a little too
very
blank.
Old
Oh,
Navy.
yeah, like right now they were talking about age group. I'm like, I just don't know who would wear a kind of top like
You can see my
that.
It's like
aunt in
that's
this
like a little
dress.
bit more.
She's like
Oh.
Or someone who's
60.
maybe really busty.
Oh, maybe.
I would wear a top like that.
Yeah, this would look good on a busty woman for sure.
Yeah.
I think it
that's
probably
what
would look
is.
better on a busty woman
Yeah.
than it on a thin woman.
I think it'll be more form fitting for that. But the skirt, I'm not loving it either. I'm not a fan.
the high-low. It's
Kills
it's
me.
either you do it and I love it, or you do it and I don't like it at all.
But at least these look like they came from the
They
same
do.
collection.
Yeah,
do.
they do.
And it was really hard for me to pick a winner because, like I said, I gave my high score was 6 for 3 of the teams, but I did pick this to be the winning team just based on that they did look the best together. Not my favorite outfits, but they did look like they walked in together to the party.
Yeah, and they worked great as a team as well.
They did.
Like they didn't, there wasn't any drama between them, and they both kind of understood each other and what they
Right.
wanted to do. And I love the fact when you put something together and you're so confident and you're like, I love this. Like, this is such amazing work. And I felt like Fabio felt that way about this. He's like, this is like the best thing that I've done so far.
He was just laughing
So-
and cracking up when he was saying all that.
But it's amazing because you feel that confident about your gown, and then to get really great complimented about it, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Like, I'm actually doing something, right?
I wasn't expecting them to like this as much. What you got going on in
Oh.
the chat?
Olga says Ken's dress looks like he got tired of hearing women complain about not having pockets and went, "You want pockets? I'll give you pockets. Here's pockets all around."
Yeah,
Fabio's
my
is
she's
cute.
got like 4 pockets in her bum.
Fit the whole person there.
I know. You can get on a plane with that. Yeah. You don't even need a suitcase. It's a carry-on dress.
Yeah, there you go.
A carry-on dress.
There you go.
Well, next up we've got Merlene and Candice. I didn't write anything for this at first. I wrote just WTF. But afterwards, coming back to it, when Merlene said that this first look that's like this translucent lily pad kind of thing, looks kind of like a chopped up jellyfish. She said it was asparagus with nuts. And I'm looking at this outfit, and I'm like, I get the nuts, but I don't see anything else.
Where's
I don't
the
know.
asparagus?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
where.
no.
I mean, it's nuts. I mean, don't look like nuts, but like, I
Looks
don't
like
know.
mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he said mushrooms.
Yeah,
You see
yes,
that. I do see
he
that too.
called him out on that, and no one wants you to say the dress looks like a mushroom. Like,
I don't
that's
think
never a good.
so.
That's never a compliment. I actually think I liked Candice's less because I just thought it was like awful. I hated like the unfinished shirt that Georgina Chapman was going like gaga over.
Yeah.
The
wasn't that bad
pants
to
were
me.
obviously a huge wreck. Like you can't wear bell bottoms or wide leg pants and have it be like kind of curly. Like I don't know.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the hem, but like the whole pant confused me. I felt like there was like folds that I couldn't really tell if they were really supposed to be there, and it was just like very unflattering and a sequined fabric.
It was like
killed
wadding up.
me.
It was like, what did she say? It was like shrinking itself.
Shrinking
Yeah.
itself. Oh my god.
I thought the judges would tear these two apart.
I did too.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
I was
Instead,
really
they
surprised
complimented
Whoopi
them.
Goldberg was like, I calmed,
Or
maybe like
yeah.
that.
Or maybe they just thought, oh my gosh, this is just so terrible. Like, we have to just say something positive about it. Or like, they were the top and the bottoms, like for both of their outfits, look unfinished, and they had like the strings hanging out. Like, it was just hot. They looked unfinished.
Yeah,
How come
and then
nobody said that they looked unfinished?
Yeah, and starting with like just the fabric itself, why would you choose a fabric like that and then do what you did with it and then add sequins to it? Like nothing.
It's too
there
much.
needs to be a balance. Yeah, there's
I-
too much just in your face.
I definitely get where Merlene was going. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
why
actually
she was
do- I
going.
do.
I don't know why she was going that direction for asparagus and nuts, but I get what she was trying to do, like kind of like a wet looking. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
should have been styled with like the hair like just dripping wet, maybe even like makeup smeared like on the face,
yeah.
like super avant-garde.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
know, but she's a terrible sewer, and everyone on the show knows it. Everyone is
Yeah.
like, this girl cannot sew. She just layers stuff on top of each other so you can't see seams.
See,
and-
but like that's where like I feel like someone or a mentor should step in and be like, let's
And?
help
Yeah.
you know, and to be
Actually
like,
mentor them.
and and then say like, this is how you sew. Like, we can teach you the basics or something. Give them some sort of help because, I mean,
Anne's not as forthcoming as Tim is.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Right.
not as hands-on.
She's more like, I don't know. I don't
Figure it
know.
out. Just have to see.
For me, I gave both of these women zeros.
Oh,
Whoa.
seriously?
I think it was the
Wow.
first time all season I've given a zero.
Yeah,
Maybe even last year too.
I gave Candice a 0 too. To me, it kind of looks like a brown sequin clown of some kind.
Like a bad, sad clown.
Yeah.
A homeless clown.
Homeless clown.
Yeah. Merlene, I gave a 1 because I really like the idea behind it, like you did, and I just think like why it's so
She's just not
skanky
skillful
everywhere.
enough to make something like
Her
that.
crotch is showing, her butt is showing. It's just but there's like if you know you're not good at sewing, you've already been through Project Runway once. Like she could have used leather or something.
I see
okay?
what
would've
you
been
mean.
cool.
So you use leather. You don't have to sew the edges. You just sew it where or some kind. There's other techniques. Just like she has really cool ideas, stuff I've never seen
Yeah.
before.
I love
Yeah.
her aesthetic and the direction she always wants to go with her outfits. Like I love where
Yeah.
this could have ended up, and I really feel like she was so close, but then it just kind of was like,
I
her
think
construction
almost.
is so much of a roadblock to her.
well, you could see she's like in the crotch area. She sectioned it off so the model could like walk and it would like kind of work. But when she did that, you could see straight into the crotch, and she should have dropped it a little bit. I
Yeah.
think if she wanted to have like room for like the legs to kind of move and not pull on these like little lily pad things, but.
yeah.
It's she's so lucky, and I think we all agree the only reason that they were safe because Merlene had won a challenge before, and like you said, she'd been making things that we weren't really seeing like anywhere, even though it was very unfinished. All the details you see, things kind of peeking apart.
I would just love to see her live up to her potential. Like, I think she is so cool and original, and that's like something we're really missing on Project Runway. Like, I'm really getting bored season after season with these like boring dresses that I've seen, you know, on clearance at Target.
You sound very boring.
Definitely,
very bored. I'm so tired.
Definitely different. I think she's the most artistic one, but I think she's the least skilled of craftsmen. Okay, you guys, we gotta hurry this up. We got 2 looks left. Next up, we have got Char and Stanley. I hated this. Looks like Becky's prom dress from Roseanne.
Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the bad dress. No, it reminded me of Becky from Roseanne, the prom dress she wore, the 80s. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. I'm like a huge Roseanne fan. I know it sounds weird.
It doesn't.
But,
I could see it.
You can see me sitting and watching Roseanne, like marathons. Yeah, I did not like that. I just gave it 2 stars just because it looked like it was made well. I didn't like the shape of it. And Stanley's, that ill-fitting bust, it was just boring. I feel like he can't do anything that's like exciting.
I feel like he's got to be out soon. I feel like he's just, I'm over it. I like him as a person. As a designer, I'm just over it.
I gave both of these looks 2 stars.
I did too. I do appreciate what Char did at the very top. It kind of looked a little 3D and a little, little deep pocket. And I could appreciate that structure. So, but I just wish,
What about Stanley? Like, what
would
it just doesn't pop out.
Was that the rosé?
Oh my God! Was that the rosé? I can't
Maybe.
remember.
It's the color of rosé.
Yeah. But the color is the only thing that's like working here. Other than that, it's just like really that's something like you're saying.
There's like this seam at the waist that I don't know. It's like.
It doesn't fit anywhere. Yeah.
It's almost like kind of fits the chest like overalls.
Oh yeah.
It does. It was hard for me to get past that.
I thought there was bunching at the hips too, and I just didn't think it
was
like
pulling when she walked.
It's just not like attractive. You know, like it's just not flattering the bust line and the wide straps and everything.
Did anyone give this a higher than a 2? Either of these looks?
I gave Char a 3 just because I think it like it was like completed and it looked attractive
finished.
And I mean like a lot of stuff just comes down and you can tell it's unfinished, doesn't fit. At least this was like to me attractive. I didn't like love the print or think it was extraordinary, but it was better than some of the others.
I gave it a 3. I actually thought it was really well executed. I feel like it's a little bit different, but I've kind of seen it before. Maybe does it look like Marchesa to you? Like a little bit,
maybe.
Like something in there looks Marchesa to me. But anyways, 3 because I thought she executed it well.
I just hate all things 80s, except punk rock. I love 80s punk, but everything else I can do without it, like Stranger Things and all. We've got our last look of the night up. Everyone loved Anthony's dress, and I really, 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 really didn't like it. I wrote no.
Why?
Nail polish. It looks like he flicked nail polish all over it. That paint looked so cheap. I hate when designers use paint like in a normal challenge. Like I think he got stuck on that from last week, and because they were like, "Oh, this is so great." He did. I feel like that looks like what the last week's dress should have looked like if it wasn't deconstructed and ripped up. It was like the store version of that dress to me.
It does resemble the last dress though, because he had colors that were splashed in the midsection area in the last dress too.
And they were saying, which is something we were all saying, the blue. What's with why didn't anyone using green? Like he had green all over everything on that plate. Every single thing had green on it.
All the food was green.
Yeah. I don't understand why they did the blue. I think they should have done the green, and they could have maybe won this.
I don't mind the blue.
I think it's really pretty.
Yeah, I think
I like the blue too.
It's a nice color.
I like it too, but I don't see how it was inspired by the dish.
A lot of these looks weren't even inspired by the dish.
I can kind of see how Anthony's was, because he kind of was like, I like the presentation. It's very artistic. Yeah, but that's how it is. Like these minimalist dishes.
A little sauce on the side, splashed.
Well, I would have liked. I really did like Kimberly's jumpsuit, and I usually don't like jumpsuits because I'm like, everyone's doing it, everyone's wearing it. But I gave that 4 stars, but I'd really have liked to seen it in green. I really, really liked it.
I love
That's
this
my
look
thing.
from head to toe. Like, it's just perfection to me.
Like,
And I love the color blue as well. Like, it pops, and I mean, anybody can wear
I never
this.
drank blue wine before.
Well, food coloring. No, I'm kidding. But as soon as I saw that there was pants, this is like a pantsuit, and it went all the way down, like I was just like, wow, this is amazing to pull off in a day.
Yeah.
And then also
For
for
sure.
Anthony's look, like I don't mind the paint. I feel like it doesn't. It looks effortless, and they both have like a low plunging neckline.
I
which
hated
makes
the
it,
way that this was so.
that could have been a little bit better.
It was off.
Yeah.
I know it was because she was so flat chested, but
It wasn't.
Ugh.
I don't think it was even on both sides. The
I-
little darts.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, those darts they looked. Something looked wrong. They looked wrong. Where
wasn't
everything
wanting-
else looked
wanting to
pretty
stay.
crisp, and that
Yeah.
took me out of it. I gave Anthony's look 2 stars, but you know, I'm not. It looked like his dress from last week for me.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys? What did you give these looks?
I gave 2 for Anthony's because it looks pretty. It looks nice, and I think it is done. Mostly.
could see it in a store.
Well, yeah. But I really like Kimberly's, and it is tribal, which the dish was tribal, right? There's something.
I
There's
think
something.
the wine was.
The wine.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
the wine was tribal. So she incorporated that, which was really awesome. And this looks expensive. Like I love it
Yeah.
when the fabric is like thick and nice, and it feels good when you wear
Yeah.
it. And so
Oh,
that
what
I
a good
see in
feeling.
this.
I will
Yeah.
say this color makes it look less expensive.
What?
To me.
No,
I
don't
disagree
think so.
with
I
that.
agree.
I feel like
I mean,
if
I
it
disagree.
was a white or like a pale yellow
No.
or a green, it would look more expensive. For me, that's kind of a Forever 21 color.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Sorry. I
I
don't.
think it looks
I
very
think
luxurious.
the bolder the better, especially on the
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah,
against
I agree.
bold, but I just.
I could see it
I
in
don't
white,
know.
but I think
I could see white
I
too.
cannot see it in like green. That's weird. Like
Really?
lime green. Yeah.
No,
lime
like
green,
like crayon
emerald.
green.
Like
What's a
emerald green.
crayon green? There's
Like
like,
a
Like my
190?
crayon box is 180 colors. like
Like a
Irish
hunter?
green, like Irish green,
I don't
like
think
straight
so.
up green
no, I
green.
like the blue.
I like the blue too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
gave
I
this-
don't hate it, but I think the color could have made it look more expensive
Mm-hmm.
because it's a very expensive cut to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the blue, I think it's just a little kind of like a trendy color. I don't know.
Well, I gave Kimberly a 5, and I gave Anthony a 4. Yeah,
I'm
I
surprised
really
you
love
gave
this.
that a 4.
Anthony's, yeah, he keeps getting better.
What
I
about
know
you?
you guys just don't disagree with me.
Oh,
But
I love
just,
him, but
Yeah.
I don't love his stuff.
I wanted them to win. I think
I
they
do too.
deserved
I
to
wanted
win.
them to win.
I was shocked. that
I
they
did
didn't.
too. I gave them both a 4. I think like
Oh, Michelle.
I get what you're saying with the paint and stuff, but it's strategic. It's not just like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
paint all over this dress. And,
Yeah.
It's like pulling in the waist, and it's just a really simple but effective way to tie it to the blue of the other outfit. And I thought they were both pretty crisp and modern, and I liked them both. I think I liked the blue one a little more than Anthony's, but
For sure.
I think they both did a really good job.
Well, that about wraps it up. Our winners were Ken and Fabio. Got that nice dinner.
Who takes out who?
Lifetime took them out.
I wish they would show us a little.
I
like,
know.
I know. A little snippet.
Like cheering.
Maybe they didn't have a very
Getting
exciting
drunk, yeah.
dinner. Maybe it didn't go well.
That would've been
And Melissa and Ari went home, so we won't be seeing them on the show anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we got next week.
We got next week.
I'm excited to see what happens next week. I hope they get to work solo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of got a sneak peek of a challenge.
And I didn't think this was going to happen because Alyssa Milano was like, the first week she's like, don't worry, for the rest of the challenges, you'll be working alone. That's what I thought. And so I was really surprised by this, but maybe after they saw what they pumped out the first 2 episodes, they're like, we got to thin this herd.
Got it in this word.
Well,
Yikes.
thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for everyone in the chat. We love having you in there. You can catch me on Marvel TV Weekly on Mondays, and you can find me online at Michael X Shirley on Twitter and Instagram, and check out my website, IHateMichaelShirley.com, or it's ILoveMichaelShirley.com.
Oh my God.
I know. My old website I wrote for 7 years was IHateMichaelShirley.com.
Oh my God.
So it's hard for me to switch in my head. Yes, the new website's ILoveMichaelShirley.com. Tell everybody where they can find you on the internet, Hannah.
Yes, you can find me at Hannah BEE Tucker.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberest, UBERRESTE, and my website is michelleUberest.com.
Yeah, check it out. Michelle's got all kinds of clothes up there.
And you can find me everywhere at @mythecreo_.
Well, thank you guys again so much, and we will see you same time next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.